just a forewarning. I'm getting a cold, so my voice is all messed up, and I have to edit out a lot of coughing fits, so bear with me and excuse the horrible hack job of editing for the following video. Thanks. Hey everybody, Aural Retentive here. Today's video is going to be adding some equipment, possibly, to my rig. So a long time ago, about a year ago, I guess, I bought a record player at Goodwill. It was a Pioneer record player. You know, I don't think a super great shakes model, probably, you know, low end or whatever, but it was Pioneer. Saw the box peeking out from under a couple other random electronic items, so I pulled it out, looked at it, and I could tell that the belt was in shreds, inside. You could, I could hear it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to deal with it. And I put it back. Got home. I was like, you know what? I should have bought it. So I called back, and it was still there, and so I went back and purchased it. So I got it home, unboxed it, and it had some issues. Well, first of all, it was, the belt was turned into garbage. So I got on eBay, found a belt for like $8. Really it's just a big rubber band. But I actually learned a lot about the record players by opening this one up and putting a new belt in. And then there's something else wrong with it, so I ended up taking it apart to the point where if I took the next piece off, it was pretty likely that I was never going to get it back together again. And I fixed the issue. The needle didn't go across, which is kind of important. It was just gunked up and needed to be cleaned out and greased, so I greased that all up. And the last, then I got everything going right, and I put my, had a Led Zeppelin 3, platter pad, slip mat on. I put that on there, ready to go. Plug it in. Everything was cool, except I noticed that it was going, and it hadn't lifted the arm up. So basically, no matter what I did, it was always running. So I'm like, okay, I can't, I'd spent 4 hours monkeying with this thing. So I put it away for a while. Not too long ago, I got it out and figured out what the deal was. And, hokey of all hokey, all it was just, the little toggle that either powered it up or turned it off. There was nothing to move it. So I don't know if there was something there before and it, disintegrated or what, but, I couldn't figure out how to fix that. But ultimately, I just put a zip tie on the piece and ran the zip tie out the back of the record player through there was a little hole in the back, so I just put the zip tie out through it. So you can push it to turn it on, pull it to turn it off, so it works. The last step of it was to order a needle, which I have done. The needle costs $20, so, we're not talking, super hardcore quality. It's just your generic replacement. Hopefully this is the right one. Looks right. So this is a Stanton 500 AL. Get the glare off. 4820 D7 AL. So it's going to be going over here in the stack. I have my slide out deck, which is nice because then I can put another record player on top of it. Although right now I'm only rigged to play one record player at a time. I can't play both. There's the $3 garage sale sticker. I paid $3 for this. I paid $20 for a new needle because it was missing a needle, but it works fantastic. Actually, it's been what I've been using, because the other one, the one that I had been using before, this is Dalton's record player that I got from him. It was having some issues. For some reason, he glued a nickel to. Not really sure why. I thought it was there, to like to put on as a weight, but he glued it down. So I'm not sure about that. But anyway, so I'm gonna go get the record player and plug it in and set it up here, and then I'll turn the camera back on. We'll put a needle in and see what happens. Make sure to edit some of that. So on, off. The problem is, and I had this bent at one time, so I'm like, there's no way that's ever going to fall off. And of course it fell off. So I have to find a way to, I really don't want to crazy glue it on there, because I don't want it to be like, if for some magical reason somebody sees this video and be like, oh, you're missing whatever part and it costs 20 cents. I don't want to have this totally corned up. So now that I've got that figured out, I will put some poster putty just to see if the needle works, because if the needle doesn't work, then this whole thing is for nothing. So alright, so poster putty. Pull on, click off. We'll see. We'll see how it works. Johnny Winter is looking on in approval, so let's give it a shot. Alright, I don't know if you can tell, but that is spinning. So when I originally worked on this, my assumption was, and I'm, not real familiar with the workings of record players, but my assumption was that the center spindle spun. And it didn't. And so for the longest time, I was thinking that it wasn't working until I discovered that that was what turned. So, yeah. Alright. So it's working. Here's my jury-rigged little... I just heard it click. And now this is stopped. Alright. So, this goes up here. So you can see the original owners, although, yeah, here's the box. Whoever Casey is, her record player is mine now. So this was, it's 1550. But this is the box I saw, and it didn't really, I saw table, and then I pulled it out, and I saw this. I'm like, oh. So then I proceeded to check it out. The dust cover was had at one point 2 straps of tape across it, and it took me a long time to get that tape off, and I never could get it off the platter. At the moment I have Led Zeppelin 3 slip mat on here, but I'm going to switch that out for my vinyl rewind. Hope you guys all watch that. Definitely needs to be grounded. Okay, and needle. Is the record player even in the shot? Okay. Well, it fit, so that's a good thing. Okay, makes a noise. Gentle puppy. So that's a pretty inauspicious start. Maybe I should just pick another spot. Well, I mean, you hear it, so that's good. Got the balance. Not quite ready yet. Alright. And the last thing I'm going to do, this seems to be working good. I played with the adjustments and got it balanced, I think, pretty well. So that one's all done. I'm leaving the vinyl rewind platter slip mat there. This is the slip mat I bought from Strictly Discs, which is the record store that I generally frequent. This is where my portraits are hanging. This one's going to go upstairs, my main record player. And I'm putting on this one. So this is, I bought this at the High Noon Saloon. Putting that on there. Yeah, I was sitting down here one day looking at this design. This is the logo they use for their website and such. I was like, hey, I could do that. I could do this cut out of vinyl. I mean, these would be kind of tricky. And I'm like, well, what if I make it bigger and create a big one? The size of my head, as you can see. I contacted them at the High Noon Saloon and I said, hey, I made a portrait made of vinyl of your logo, and if you'd be willing to hang it somewhere where the patrons could see it, I'll donate it. And so she, the owner / manager, wrote me back and she's like, hey, cool. So I took it down there. They had a look at it and they said, yeah, we'll definitely put this up. And they had actually some other cool art that various people had done to decorate the place hanging up. So I never really looked around at the wall and the decorations when I was there, because I was there for shows or whatever. So it was interesting to look around in the daylight and be like, oh, this is what this place looks like. So, and just while I have the door open, I hung up the Jimi Hendrix Cowboy poster from the Jimi Hendrix Smash hits. And then down below that is a blueprint of the first electric guitar, I believe. Or at least, if not the first one, an early one, from '66. That can't be the first one. Anyway, yeah. So Cindy got that for me. So I put that on the door of this music room. And I think that's all I'm going to be able to cram into this video. So it works. You know, it's okay. Not great. It is nice if I want to play a particular track, because I can't do that with this one. This one is, you're committed. You play the whole album side. Sorry about all the edits in here. Evidently, I'm getting a cold. So, and it's dusty down here. So that is it for today. Thanks for watching. For those of you who stuck with me through the entire getting the record player thing working. We'll talk to you later. All right. Thanks for watching.